high incidence of carriers.
Yes, that's right.
Who are forced to do the cleaning and the cooking and the meat packing and all the rest of this stuff that where you have high exposure levels. That's our demographic that visits this building in large part. Not to mention the fact that right over there, they've got all those prisoners, 500 of which have tested positive for COVID.
Prisoners. There's a prison there?
No, our jail. We have 500 positives in our jail.
Ah, wow. So they gotta come out for the hearings, right?
Well, I'm able to see them by video. But the jailers at 3 o'clock, they all walk out the building, and my jailers from this building all come together and they hang out together. And I think that there's too much generalized exposure there.
Hi, William. How are you? You're at your office today. It's good. You're not driving.
I'm fine, thank you. Yes, I'm actually at my house.
Okay, nice. Nice. Okay. Do you walk out of the house, or do you also have an office?
I have an office downtown. I actually need to go there this week just to check my mail and so forth, but given everything, and I don't need to be there, so I don't have to.
Hi, Gary. You're looking good. What is buzzing here? Second. Sorry. Okay. So let's get started. So do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll start with a quotation from Yom Yom from Today is a Day. It's a book of the Rebbe. There's a quotation for each day. And the quotation for today is, we're starting with saying, Alter Rebbe. We have some people in life that have life going smooth and going good and going, and sometimes we look at people and say, I wish that my life would go as smooth and no challenges and no frictions and just, more smooth than how it is and I want it to be. And Alter Rebbe says something today to give us a complete different outlook. It says like this. It says the Alter Rebbe responded to an individual at Yechidus. Yechidus is a private audience. And it says the Jewish people are called Neirot, lamps. Now we're talking about lamps that are, the lamps that are, that are older lamps, older lamps. The way they used to be is that they were like oil and a wick, and somebody would go around the streets and he would carry like a torch and he would light the lights, the torches at the top of each pole. Every it would go walk around the city and would light these lamps, these oil lamps. And one time somebody asked a Chabad Rebbe, I think it was the fifth Lubavitcher Rebbe, he said, what is a chassid? And he said the definition of a chassid is a lamplighter, to kindle the light. And ask him, what if the light is in the desert? So he says, you still go on the desert as well. He says, what if the light is in the, what if the light is in the water? And he says the light is in the water like it's in the ocean. He said, then you still go into the ocean and you light it there as well. So the definition is our work is lamplighters, to kindle the lights. So the Alter Rebbe says a lamp. She said what the Jewish people are. The Jewish people are called nerot. They're called lamps. Each and every one of us is a lamp. And he says a lamp is comprised a vessel. You have the pole, and oil, also a wick. Then you have oil and you have flame. That's how old lamps used to be. You have all these functions here. You have the pole, you have the wick, the oil, and the flame, and the person, the lamplighter, would go on and kindle the light in this lamp. So he says, what are the Jewish people? The Jewish people are called lamps. They're called neirot. But one must kindle the flame, he said. It's not enough that we have the candles, that we have the lamps, we also have to kindle the flames. And then it sheds light, meaning we could have we could be a lamps, but if we're not lighting it, we're not kindling it, we each one have a flame. The Jewish soul, the neshama that we have within each and every one of us, that's the fire, that's the spark. We have a part of God that is within us, that Hashem gave it to us at birth. And this part of God is something that could be hidden, and we have to light it. We have to ignite that spark and create the lights, kindle the lights. So it says we have to kindle the flame. It's not enough that we have it, we have to kindle it. And then if you want to see light, you got to kindle it. So the Rabbi told them, you have a good lamp. You got a lamp, it's good, but you lack the igniter. You need to ignite the light. How do you ignite the light? What do you do to ignite the light? So he says the following. He said, by sharply striking at the stone of the animal soul, a spark of fire flies out and kindles the godly fire. What did that mean? That we have within us two souls. We have the godly soul, and we have what we call the animal soul. The reason why we call it animal, because it's selfish, a very selfish soul. And we have to ignite. I mean, and this versus the godly soul. The godly soul is selfless. The animal soul, the reason we call it animal, because just like the animal, it wants everything for the self. This soul wants everything that looks seemingly is good for the self, and it doesn't take the time to think and consider whether it's really good for the self, or maybe it's not so good for the self. Thinking whether pleasure is measured most, not most, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of people measure pleasure by, if it's instant pleasure, if we have an instant pleasure, then we go for it. If it's not pleasurable right now, then I don't, then I stay away from it. I want pleasure right now. Most people, especially today when everything is in the tip of our fingers with the phones and social media and everything, we want pleasure here and now. What about if it takes a sacrifice to create, to have pleasure, not now, but later? For example, when it comes to exercising, when it comes to learning, when it comes to davening, when it comes to taking the time to do things that are now, I'll give an example. Okay, so it comes nighttime, and we know that we need to go to sleep, that tomorrow I have to wake up early, and I have to have a certain amount of hours of sleep in order to be refreshed and to be focused. But I'm in the middle of reading this book. It was very interesting. Middle of watching this movie that is very interesting. And I just can't put this book down. I can't power off this button on my TV, because right now I have pleasure. I enjoy the pleasure. I can't make the act to go out of my house and or go out of my office and go to the gym to exercise or go to the pool to swim, because right now it's hard for me. Right now it's more pleasurable for me to sit here and to read a book or to sit here and work, because I feel I get pleasure in what I'm doing right now. And you're telling me that I have to go and sacrifice my time to do something which I'll benefit from it, but later. That's hard, and that's why this animal soul within us that we have doesn't know the idea of sacrificing for the greater good. It doesn't understand that. It doesn't know that. It's selfish, and it wants everything here and now, and doesn't know to sacrifice for the greater good. So what the Rabbi is saying here, that we all have the lamp. We have the lamp of the godly soul. The lamp of the godly soul, which is the godly soul is holy. The godly soul is part of God. God gives it to us. We have it internally. But how do we make this light reveal? How do we, shine? How do we make this light shine so we have a little bit of an easier time in this battle between the animal soul and the godly soul? Because there's constantly a fight between the animal soul and the godly soul. Each one of them wants to have full control. The godly soul wants us to do whatever God wants. Godly soul wants us to learn. The godly soul wants us to daven. Godly soul wants us to do, things that are good. The animal soul doesn't. It wants us to do things that are goodly, not godly. Not necessarily bad, but not godly. And I was talking to my son the other day, and I was telling him about certain things that he needs to do and to change and things. So he said, yes, Tati, but when we're talking about it, it sounds all very good. When it comes to actually doing them, implementing them, then I forget about everything that we talk. I mean, I forget, but it's like, I can't put this phone away. I can't, sit and study. I can't. So I told him, what do you think? You want it to be easier? If it would be easy, then the whole point of reward will not be in place. God will not give us the idea of the reward. So the point is that God wants us to the whole system of reward and punishment is based on us choosing to do good and sacrificing to do good. Taking the time in the morning to put on this tefillin, taking the time to go and exercise and do what's good for our body physically. And it's a challenge. And for some people, it's harder than others. And we look at other people and we say, why does it have to be so hard? Why can't it be a little bit easier? Why the other person has it so easy? He doesn't have ADHD. He doesn't have these challenges. He just, he wants to stay focused. He wants to study. We usually tell him, it's easy for him for me, when I come and I have to study, when I have to put the distraction aside, I'm more distracted. I'm easily getting distracted. Why does it have to be so hard? Can God make it a little bit easier for me? Why do I have to go with challenges in life? Why can things be a little more simple and good and easy? Why can't my life have a smooth ride? So that the Rebbe say over the years, by sharply striking the stone of the animal soul. When we have these challenges, when we have these frictions in our life, when we have this, when it takes a sacrifice to put this book away and go to sleep on time, wake up early and make the time to put into tefillin, even though I don't feel the pleasure, may not feel the benefit of this right away. But these challenges, these challenges we have in our life, this friction that we have, that by striking the stone in the animal soul, a spark of fire flies out and kindle the godly fire. Do you want a godly fire? You can have a godly fire, but it's not easy. It's not simple. You get better when you are challenged. We get better when we fail. We get better when we have this friction. If you go to the gym and if you're going to the gym and we have to and we do things in the gym. I mean, everybody knows that when you go to the gym, you don't do things that are easy. You do things that are hard. If you do things that are easy, it'll be no big deal. It'll be simple. People go to the gym to work hard. And the hard work challenges you, and you get more out of the exercise by being challenged. So these frictions, these challenges is something good. It's not something that is not good. We should appreciate the fact that we need to sacrifice for the greater good, that it takes hard work, because every time when we say no to a temptations, every time that we say no to a desire, every time we say no to the animal soul and we say yes to the godly soul, that's how we strike on that stone, and that's what takes out the fire. That's what makes the fire. And you see that. People that are not challenged, are not getting are not getting the best out of themselves. When we challenge, we get when I have a hard time praying, when praying doesn't become easy, when I have challenge to be focused, to study or to pray, or when I'm challenging my life, it gets the best out of me. It says about the Jewish people, it says when they're crushed, the best comes out. So we shouldn't be impressed with these challenges. We should realize that they're good for us, and we should look how to turn these challenges into opportunities. How do we do that? Talk about it. Anybody wants to say anything so far? David, it's good to see you.
Likewise. I'm sorry the screen has my assistant's name on it.
That's okay. You want to introduce yourself to everybody who knows you?
I'm David Weintraub. I'm a lawyer down in Broward County.
Hey, David.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
We have Gary Feldman here. Gary, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey, I'm Gary. Work for Florida State University, project manager. Been with Rabbi for a long time now. And the picture behind me is my pastor with me riding my beauty, Thunder.
Nice.
City boy on a horsey. I'm just a city boy on a horsey.
And many, many years ago, my father and another rabbi and me went to Gary's, and we got some horses, and when we did some shooting, and he actually was very impressed with my father's friend, who was in the elite unit in the army. He was like shooting these targets like one by one.
And he never shot the gun before, and whenever he picked up either the rifle or a pistol, he hit the target, bam, 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 all the time. So yeah, that's a darn good shot. He was very impressed.
I have a Jewish lawyer friend who used to practice in Miami who would go duck hunting up near Tallahassee, and
Yeah.
I would have sworn he was the only Jewish hunter in the world, but I guess not.
Now there's some of us up here still. There's some of us up here.
You hunting?
I'm sorry?
Richard, you hunting?
I don't hunt, but I'm well armed.
Richard's hobby is
I
flying.
like how he said that. Doesn't hunt, but well armed.
Mm.
As I sign off sometime, armed infidel.
William, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Well, hi, everybody. I'm William Stanner. I am a lobbyist and public affairs consultant by trade, and I have my own business. And as I pointed out earlier, very happy and lucky to be able to work from home. But I've known the rabbi almost since he came to town, I think, maybe a little while after. And I just appreciate the opportunity to spend the Wednesday lunch with everybody.
Yeah, William would come and we were at the Capitol because, he's a lobbyist working at, so he's in the Capitol a lot. So we see each other up in the Capitol. And Richard, you're the last one to introduce yourself.
I'm Richard Hirsch. I'm a circuit judge in Miami-Dade County. The struggle for justice continues.
I don't know what happened to Robert Locke. I mean, I saw him last week. He said he was in a conference call last week. We got to get back to them to see what's going on with him.
Does someone need an invite, a specific invite to get into the Zoom, or could anyone with the link get in?
No, anybody with the link, you get in. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I
open.
tried to get my son to join us, but he hasn't tried yet.
Sure. He's in town now? He's in, oh.
Yes.
They-
My son goes to Rutgers and lives in the Chabad dorm at Rutgers, but it's closed. So yes, he's home until it reopens.
Yeah. So yeah, and everybody here, what's coming? So we're talking about the, I was talking about mentioning about tefillin here because everybody here in this group, I think, aside from Billy, unless you have one, I don't know, that has a tefillin, and so putting on tefillin in the morning is a very good way of striking on that stone and igniting a fire. And it takes a great deal of sacrifice. It's not easy to do. Something that we're not used to, something we're not going up with, something that we've. And I would maybe ask Richard. I know you've done it for a long time, and if you still do it or not, but you want to share with us some of your experiences putting on tefillin? How does it feel to you? How does it? Why would you recommend it to everybody?
I don't have my tefillin here now to demonstrate. The mornings are the better times for me when I have been davening. And it was a very centering experience. Just a way to start the day. Have and level.
Economy, our education system, our media.
Oh, something was in the background there. Yeah, so Gary, Gary has one for since he's bar mitzvah.
Say that again. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Said you have a tefillin since your bar mitzvah.
I still have my bar mitzvah tefillin. Yes, yes, and yes. I not every day, but most every day I get it. I put it on. If I can attempt just to say Shema and a few others, Ashrei, then it depends how early I can get up in the morning. That critter eats very early.
David, how's your tefillin working out? David has gotten a tefillin recently, very recently. He got him a tefillin. I got to know David.
Come on in. Come on in. I almost had someone join us.
Yeah.
Another day.
David, how's your tefillin going?
Just once in a while. If my son would wake up before I left the house, there'd be a possibility, greater possibility. I don't see him till I get home from work. He's already done it.
You can bring it. You can bring it to your office and do it in the office.
Next Wednesday.
And Willem, do you have a tefillin now? You don't have a tefillin, right?
No, I do not.
You gotta get you a tefillin.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we do is one thing that I was thinking of doing. I didn't. That's such a good response. I had time to work on it. Is to do a Sunday Zoom tefillin. Like to do tefillin at 11 o'clock on Sunday for a couple of minutes. Take 5-10 minutes.
Do you sell one with the FSU logo on it? I mean, it may become popular up there.
That's the thing is that you're talking about tefillin. You're talking about any mitzvah. A mitzvah has to be done a very particular way, exactly the way Hashem wants it. So we could the cover could be any way you want. Tefillin itself is only one way, but the cover could be an FSU cover. You could have the horse on it. You could have anything you want on it. Because the cover is not tefillin. The thing is the tefillin itself. But what I want to leave you with is the fact that we need to think to ourselves to take one thing, and I think tefillin is really a very good example. And talking about striking at that animal's soul and igniting the fire. If we take the time in the morning to get up, I can tell you, sometimes I come to davening in the morning and I'm like all overwhelmed and there's so many things going on and whatever, even like do this almost first thing in the morning, but it's just like the thoughts are like everywhere. And that davening puts me back together, like taking a puzzle that is spread to so many different pieces and like putting it together and it's like all nice. So that's the difference how I am before davening to after davening sometimes. And the morning, especially in the morning and early in the morning, because there is a special godly revelation that is shined and revealed, particularly in the morning, And when we do this in the morning, like I love to daven early in the morning because it's a very powerful experience when everything is still, So we just have to develop a habit to go in. You go to the gym, or you can do it from dawn, anytime from dawn. It's about here in Tallahassee about 6 o'clock in the morning. You can already put on tefillin, and just getting into a habit. And if you do it, it's really a good way to start the day because you're connecting to Hashem. You're connecting. We just celebrated Shavuos last week. Shavuos is all about the giving of the Torah, and the giving of the Torah. When God came down and gave us the Torah, He didn't say be spiritual. He didn't say be. He gave us very particular commandment. So connecting to God after the Torah was given is by doing a physical mitzvah and doing it the way God wants it done. So when we put on tefillin this morning, we connect to God. We connect to God. We connect to God's essence through a mitzvah. It's the highest level of connection that could be with God, more than how the soul connects to God on a higher level in heaven. And the soul ascends to heaven. The soul cannot have that connection that a Jew could have with God here on earth doing a mitzvah. So it's that powerful when we have the opportunity now. It says when Mashiach will come, we're going to see the impact of this connection, and we're all going to want to run and do this mitzvah. But now, when it's striking on that soul, that's when it matters. So when you guys come here, when we all come here together, take 30 minutes, during the day, from our busy work, putting everything aside and learning together, sharing some word of Torah together, that's also a way of striking on the that stone and igniting the fire. It's more meaningful when we do it in work than if we do it at home and do it in the synagogue, because that was again the whole idea of the giving of the Torah was Hashem, coming down Mount Sinai and saying, "I'm giving you the Torah here on earth for you to take it. It's yours now. You take it to your workplace. You take it to home. You bring it everywhere. You can connect to God on the lowest level. We take the lowest level of life of the world, which is the inanimate part of the world, tefillin, which comes from the skin of an animal, parchment, which is also processed from the skin of an animal, and we elevate that, and we elevate the entire process of that came to bring this tefillin together. We elevate this all to make it part of part of Hashem's, everything becomes like the animal, the one who slaughtered the animal, the one who processed the animal, the one who raised the farmer who raised the animal, everything was in contact with the process of this tefillin is now being elevated to a higher level. So I would want to give us a challenge to for this week to think to ourselves, where can we strike on the stone? Because every time we say no to the animal soul and we say yes to the godly soul, we're going to ignite some fire. So let's ignite the fire and see how powerful that becomes. We already ignited the fire now here today, by being here together, and so by learning Torah together. So let's make sure it continues into us to a certain act. It's all about the act. It's all about doing it. I say to people just do it. I say to them, just do it, because it's all about doing it. Really, since the Torah was giving, it's all about getting it done. Whether it's a mezuzah, whether it's the tefillin. And David, I think you pay a lot of money for your tefillin, so you may as well get your money worth,
Good.
You got an expensive tefillin there. You got like a very good tefillin, so.
Yes, I'll work on it.
All right, so without Hashem, we'll see you guys next Wednesday, and we should only hear good things. Hopefully, this little Torah that we studied today, bringing more positivity into a world with all the craziness that's going on in the world. Unless anybody has any questions, anybody wants to have any discussion or anything.
No, but please send out another Zoom link next week too.
Okay.
for
Yeah.
this.
Usually,
Remind us.
does it work for you? It's asking what is it works? Is an email reminder works? A text reminder? Which ones? What time?
It's actually, it may be a little more work for you, Rabbi, but if you can send it both email and text, because today I was here and could use my laptop, which for that I need to email. But if I'm not, when I joined by phone from the last week, it's through text is easier.
You tell me how you want it. Everybody wants. We could do one email and one text.
Is it the same link each time, or does the link change each week?
Same link. Same link. Yeah. You could save it to your computer as a recurring,
Okay,
like on your calendar, and then you could open up from your phone or from your computer. But we could send, for us, it's not a problem. We could set up emails, text, whatever works for everybody. I just don't want to have you send you too many stuff. So whatever works for you, you let me know. If you want an email the day before, a text the day off, you tell me what time, what day, you could have it all set up.
If it's the same link and it doesn't change, it's actually just easy enough for me to put it into my calendar.
right, same here.
Okay. So do you need a text reminder? Would you like a text reminder the day off?
Yes,
Okay. So we'll do it like what time works best for everybody for a text reminder?
anytime is fine.
Anytime. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll keep doing it that way. Very good. Any other questions? Any other thoughts?
Thank you.
Anybody?
Thank you, Rabbi.
Anybody wants
Nice
to
to
get
meet
anybody's
everyone.
Anybody wants to get anybody's phone number to do some business? Okay. Take care.
Hopefully I don't have any business with the judge.
I was about to say,
Yeah. You don't want business with me, thank you.
This is
Take
the
care.
best
Have a
judge.
good day.
This
Nice
is the
to meet
best
you.
judge I know in Florida here. You know, I know.
Wait. Where's Bobby Luck? He's still in Florida, yes?
Wow, I know. I only got to know him very recently, but you, I know already many years. So
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a great judge. Good guy.
yeah, that's
All
nice. No, he's definitely a very good guy. So, but I know you for a longer time. Remember, I just got to know recently.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a
Good to see you, Reb.
Have a good week. Good to see you.